YouTubers. So this is a totally different type of video than I normally do. This video is all about how I edit. And I am sorry that I'm a little casual today, but I am actually going to the pool later on, and I was like, you know what? I have a couple videos to edit. Let me sit down and do this and tell you guys about how I edit. This is how I edit using Final Cut Pro. I also show you some other options that are iMovie and Wondersahre Filmora. Now, I didn't show you how I physically use those, so let me know if you would like to see that. I don't use them on a daily basis. It's just I started with iMovie, then I went to Wondersahre Filmora, and now I'm in Final Cut Pro, and that is what I use to edit. I show you how I do things like side by side, how I do my intro, how I do transitions, how I do overlays, how I do titles or wording or things like that. So lots of different things that I kind of use, music, anything like that. So it's a little bit interesting. So let me know if you guys find this interesting. Please let me know if you want to see more information on maybe Wondersahre Filmora or iMovie. And yeah, so let's get started. All right, so I put in my scan disk and I opened up Final Cut Pro. I'm going to File, New, and Library. Now there's a reason why, is because in MacBook Pro, and I'm naming it 1 Face of the Month, June, and I'll tell you why I have that one later, but let me see here. All right, so the key is because these are all libraries over here, and I'll show you why later. As far as a MacBook Pro and deleting, I need that. So I open up Import New Media, and I go to my EOS Digital, and then I'm going to import these three. The others already old files on this card, but import that in. Oh, this is very orange looking today. Not sure why. Okay, then I'm going to go in this same one and go File, New, and Project, and I do 1 Face of the Month. And I can put June after it, but it doesn't really matter right here. So that started a new project down here. Then I go into my always used and I pull over my starter. Okay, and it's going to tell me that I made it too small, which is fine. I don't want a big intro. Same thing with my intro music. I bring that over. Now I have downloaded the intro music already and you can pull more music from right here, the little music symbol. All right, and then I go through, and if you see these little arrows, I'm actually going through and changing the sound. So it goes from low up to the middle and then back down lower. Then I put some effects on it. So this one right here where you see this is actually called the effects browser. So I go in and I use one that's called Bokeh Random, and I drag that onto the actual introduction, and then I go to intro flashing is the other one that I use. I use the same ones all the time, so it's pretty easy, and I put it on there until it turns white and then drop it. Then I go into transitions, and I just do this new thing where I randomly just pick one and drag it over. So I'll show you how this starts off. All right. So then I'm going to go back into my Face of the Month of June, and the first thing I'm going to pull over is the last part, because that's actually my introduction. So I'm going to go in and pull this in. So I go back to here and I hit start. Hi. And I find where I start saying hi again, and I go right before it. I hit Command B, which actually makes it it cuts it. And I delete that out, so then it's going to start and
Hi again, YouTubers. So it is that time of month.
Starts right in.
Face of the Month video.
I will go through and listen to the whole thing pretty much, but
and I'll talk to you later. Let's get started.
Go to where it's ending and where I'm going to cut it. I do the Command B, and then I highlight that yellow part and hit delete, and delete off that part that I don't want. Then I go in through here and I highlight both of the 2 sets of clips and drag them in. Then I watch the start of this, and I clip, see how that's yellow again? I do the Command B and clip that out. Then I go back into the transitions, and usually for this I use something that does a doorway or drops in or something. So I add that in and I go back and make sure that that works good.
Later, let's get started. All right, so
So you saw how that transitioned in. All right, then I start with these things. This is just how I do this. I go to the end, I go right here, I go back to my always used, and I use my closing clip, drop that in, do the same thing with the music that I did before, drop the same music in, and then take the volume down halfway, take the volume down halfway, and then when I exit, I always use the static exit, Now you can see up here that it's saying it's too small. That's fine. It's asking me to eject it because it has all the information from the disc in. So I do that. It might take a second. You see the little spinning colorful wheel right here. So I go back in after I've put that ending in, and I just go,
catch up with you guys soon. Bye.
wait until I say bye, do the Command B, clear off this piece. Oops. Delete that out. Sorry, it's hard to do with movement. Make sure the ending is right.
I will catch up with you guys soon. Bye.
All right. So then I will go through and I will actually watch the whole thing out and edit out anything that I might need to. Cut any clips. Sometimes if I stop, I will also say 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1 before I start back up so I know how to edit it. I can see by the volume down here, I can adjust the volume. And I will actually show you also in just a minute how I edit in a side-by-side clip on something like. All right, so then after I've gone through and taken out any clip parts, I go back to the beginning and I start it here and I go, okay, so this is where I started to say the word face of the month. Turn the volume up for you guys. Then I go over to titles and I like the 3D ones. Let's use the rotating one. And I pull it over here. You just click on it and pull it over. Okay. Then you double click on it. And up in this corner, it's moving slow right now. So you go up in the box here and you delete that off. And then you type in here. I type in face of the month. Okay. And from there, I use the Georgia script. Okay. And I take the size down maybe a little bit. Then I can go in and change the color this month. I just kind of look at what works with the background. Maybe this green kind of works. All right, so I go back in, make sure it moves.
For a face of the month video. This is the face that I have been loving.
All right, see how that rotated in and out? You can also go in with this and you can move this all over the place. You can make it multiple lines. If I wanted to go face of the month, Sephora, Perfection, airbrush. An airbrush is too big, so then you go to the next line. All right, and that's obviously too big. If I wanted it to be just a little line down on the bottom, I can make it super small. I can make it whatever size I want. I can make it all one line. I could put it over here. I could do whatever I want. I can change that around any way I want to. Now I want it about this size, and I'm gonna get rid of the bottom 2 lines. I only wanted to say face of the month. And I want it to be as much in the center as I can. You see how those lines popped up? It tells you where the center is. So then just go through and make sure it looks good.
Face of the month video. This is the face that I have been loving, and it is using.
So then sometimes I'll go in if there's some words I need to add in, anything like that. There's all kinds of things you can do in Final Cut Pro. But I am going to stop here on this one, and I'm going to go into my Anastasia one. And I'm going to pull that up, and you can see how lighting sometimes is different on these. I'm going to pull in the start in the beginning, and then I'll show you how I do an overlay, side by side. All right, so I pulled the Anastasia video in, and let's see here. I'll show you how I count it down, actually. Here you go.
3, 2, 1.
So that's where I'm going to cut it, because I'm going to start saying hello there. Delete that off, and then you'll see this.
Hi again, YouTubers. So this is a review on a product from Anastasia.
Now this is where on this same one I would go in, go 3D. Let's do scale. We'll do the scale one just to show you a different one. And I go review / demo Anastasia. Oh, what is that called? Liquid lipstick. Lipstick in pure Hollywood. And so as you can see, it's running off the page. So first thing I do is I change the font to the one I want. And then I bring the size down a little bit. So let's see here. Click on it so I can move it around a little bit. Right about there. And then that white is definitely not showing up. So let's see what color looks good here. The blue looks a little bit better. Let's go with the darker blue. Right there. So let's start with that.
On a product from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is the liquid lipstick in the color Pure Hollywood.
Okay, so a couple things here. I'm going to stop it here and break it, put a break in. I'm going to draw this, make the intro just a little bit longer, and then I'm starting it where I need it to be a close-up. So if you go through, I'm showing you the packaging.
The rose gold kind of label through here, silver top,
Tell you when.
see-through bottom. The applicator is a sponge-tipped doe foot applicator, and then this is the.
And I show a swatch here. All right, so you saw I started to move my hands away. So that's where I want to cut it again. I want to go into this clip, and then I'm going to go up here and go crop, and go to crop here. Take this area here, draw a small box about the size I think I need. Might need a little bit bigger. On this one, put it here, and then I start back here and see. And you have your close-up.
Looks like it is a pretty packaging with a rose gold kind of label.
Just make sure I keep everything in the shot the whole time.
The applicator is a sponge-tipped doe foot applicator.
It's hard to tell with these sometimes if you're getting it completely in focus, but it's good to see it in color.
This color.
All right, so it looks like I definitely have a issue of something I was talking about here. I can see it down how the sound changes. So let's watch this and see what I did.
Hold on one second here. This color is truly.
So I had an itch on my nose, obviously. That's why I stopped that. So listen.
2, 1.
So I know I'm going to restart there, so I break it.
This color is truly.
So I'm going to go back here and go.
Hold on one second here.
All right, so that was what I stopped saying. So I started with the word this. So I want to break it there, delete this off, and then watch.
Hold on one second here. This color is truly a awesome nude lip color.
So I swatched it on my finger, so I'm waiting to see how I get back to that swatch so I can show you that as a close-up.
What is it? Myth, and there's one by Nard. I forget. They make me look like death. If those do that and they're brown undertone on you and you need more of a pink undertone, this is awesome.
All right, so I brought my hand back up with a swatch on it. So I'm going to go back just a second. I'm going to break it.
So this is what the swatch of the product
all right. So I'm going to go into this one, highlight it down here in yellow, go to this, click on crop, go to crop here. I'm going to make it smaller and put it here, and let's see how that does with a close-up.
Looking at it there. However,
so you can see both the swatch on my finger and on my hand, and then you should be able to see it on my lips in a second. Perfect. So it all stayed in shot.
This one, which I'll put a little on. These are just gorgeous. Absolutely love it. It is so smooth and so nice and so easy to put on.
So I did something there. I guess I wanted to wipe my hand off. That's what it was. So as you can see, the sound is low here. So I'm going to go back here to where I'm going to say 3, 2, 1. I can see where it starts talking again.
3, 2, 1.
Break that.
So smooth and so nice and so easy to put on.
And I knew I was stopping there because I just watched that a second ago. Delete that off. And then here's how the clip goes.
Now, I did purchase this at Sephora. I believe Sephora is the only one that carries them right now, even though other places carry.
So I'm going to listen through because I have a clip of how I demo this right here.
26 colors.
And I'm going to go through and find where to start that, and then I'll show you how to do that. Just as I hit stop, I said it, so watch.
26 colors. I will insert a clip here.
Okay, so I said I will insert a clip here. So I go back. So I break it there. Then I'm going to take this clip here because this is where I know my demo is. I'm going to put it in over it.
I'll insert a clip here of how I apply
Take the sound down on this one.
Simple, very easy. It actually dries.
And I'm going to make sure I get to the end of that. I'm going to put a break there. I'm going to make sure this ending ends there. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into here, highlight this one, and I'm going to go into transform. Okay, and you get this little circle here. I'm going to move this over to the side. Okay, then I'm going to go in here and go to crop, but I'm going to go to trim instead. I'm going to, whoops, grab that little blue box, take it over to about half a screen. Then I have to go into the bottom one, okay? The bottom one. Make sure that is yellow. Then I'm going to go into transform. I'm going to get that circle again. Grab that circle. That's a pretty face I'm making right there. Drag that over, and so it should work out here.
26 colors. I will insert a clip here of how I apply it. It is very simple.
And there you
very
go.
Easy. Some of the information that they say on the website about it is
That's how I do a split screen. So it just makes sure it shows through the end and it cuts at the right time. Perfect. So then I'll go through and basically I will watch the whole thing and I'm going to get to the end and I will watch this whole thing, but I'm going to go to what I'm wearing.
Let's see here. What else?
And there I said it. So I said what I am wearing. So then I grab that same scale and go in and put in what I am wearing. And I go back always to Georgia. It's just the font I use to make it more cohesive, to always use the same font. All right. And I forget what color I did up here. So sometimes I have to double click back on this, and I did a bluish purple. So go back to this one, double click on it. I want to go down here to color and go to a bluish purple. I think this is about the same. Let's take a look.
And let's see here. What else I am wearing on my face? I have on the...
And there we go. That's how to do side by side and add a title. So I think that is pretty much everything I do with this at the moment in Final Cut Pro. All right, just to show you some other options that if you do not want to spend the money on Final Cut Pro, there's Wondersahre Filmora. And I'll open this one up for you. I did buy this one. This one is $50 versus, let's see if I have any recent ones. I do have one, I guess. And it's just an open and closing, but very, very, very similar. You can buy this one for $50, as I said. This one is more made for people that have PCs versus Apple products, but you've got your music, you've got your titles. They have really, really, really cool text and credit and titles, transitions, overlays. They have all of the same stuff. You can bring in different movements. They actually had a lot of really cool stuff I loved if it was made for a Mac instead of a PC. All right, and I'll show you real quick what I used here. Let's see. I used to like that opening actually a lot. And then you saw some overlay there that I used of wording. So this is really awesome. If they ever come out with an Apple product, I am totally in. It was $50 versus I think Final Cut Pro is $200. Big difference. So the other side of that is if you don't want to pay for anything, most Apple products, I think almost all of them actually now, come with iMovie, including even iPhone, I think, recently. So this is the most similar, and if you see it here, it looks exactly like, let's see where I can pull some off of. Let's see if I have anything in here I can pull. This is kind of like, let's see, oh, it won't let me pull out a Final Cut. All right, so I can't pull anything over, but this is the most like Final Cut Pro. It does not do a quarter of the things, well, it does about half of them. You can't do things like, okay, you can put in a title, but you can't move it around. You can change the font, but I don't think you can change the color. No, you might be able to change the color. I haven't used iMovie in a lot of years. So, they are both great. So if you have a PC, I would totally suggest Wondersahre Filmora by Filmora. It is amazing. I absolutely loved it. And as I said, if they had a Mac version, I would buy in a second. If not, if you don't want to, there is iMovie, which is pretty much like what I just showed you on Final Cut Pro. Very, very, very similar. It's a little bit more user-friendly than Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro takes a little bit more working with and figuring out. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. So after I'm done, I take a Seagate external hard drive here. I don't know what size it is. I have a sticker on it that says YouTube, so I know what it's for. I plug it into the side, and I simply go through, and you click on this button over here. I go to Master File. I have it set up with the name already. I go into Movies. Oh no, actually I don't, I'm sorry. I go into YouTube, and I'm gonna save it to YouTube right through here. Then I'll show you one step further, and when I'm done with that, when that's done processing, I then open something called Handbrake, which is this one down here. I open it up, and I will show you one of these. Okay, so this one's the one that's saving right now, but these are some ones I did. See the number 1 in front of it, and then the one without it? Okay, so I'm gonna go into the one with the number 1 on it. And then I have my YouTube presets already on Handbrake, but I'll show you what they are. So it's pulling the video in right through here. Okay, I go into this and I remove that number 1 because I'm gonna replace it. And the only reason I do this is because if I use the same name, if anything happened, I don't lose everything. Oops, I forgot to get rid of the 1. All right, so you can see here, and you might want to screenshot this because I will then show you the differences. I click on YouTube preset and it goes to web optimized, iPod 5G support, constant quality, variable frame, H2.64, same as source, MP4 file. These are the basic things that I use, okay? Then I click start. And yeah, I don't want to overwrite it. So, but normally you would hit that and it's going to go down here and it's going to process that. Then I open up my YouTube and I simply upload. And when I hit upload, let's see here, it might take a second because I'm doing a lot of different things right now. But then I go into upload. I always upload to private and pull the video in, and then I go in and change everything afterwards. So that is a little bit of my process of how I do this. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. At the end, I decided to throw in a couple little things that I do, like Handbrake and how I use an external hard drive. So I hope you found that little extra part helpful. If you guys do want to see more specific videos, maybe on iMovie or Wondersahre Filmora, please let me know. And what else I am wearing on my face, I just have on a shirt from Target and my engravable bar. On my face today, I have on Dior Air Flash, Tarte CC Corrector, Guerlain Terracotta Bronzer, Sephora Airbrush Blush. I didn't plan on putting on this much makeup but to go to the pool, but I thought we were doing something else today. MAC Pro Longwear Under Eye, Ben Nye Cameo Powder to set on my eyes is just a little bit of Kat Von D Shade and Light in the crease. I have on Salon Perfect number 53 lashes with the Marc Jacobs Fine Liner and Clinique Color Pop Bear Pop, I think. Melon Pop, no, I'm not sure. I'll have to put that below. And Glossier Boy Brow on my brows. Everything else is the same, just white nail polish. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a great day. Bye.